everyone, this is Sincere, a Teacher Sincere's channel, and welcome once again. Okay, so like the title of this video says, this is my final video of my channel. I will no longer be a YouTuber for several reasons, okay, because I just don't have the time. Also, I want to focus my interests elsewhere, and where I want to focus it mainly is on writing and teaching. Okay, I continue to teach even though officially I am now semi-retired. I started getting my Social Security, what we call Social Security here in my country, 2 months ago. So this is the second month I got it. So I am officially retired. Now I call myself semi-retired because I don't have any plans to retire. Well, financially, I can't afford to, and also I don't want to. I want to continue to help people, to teach people, and to also I want to write as well. I want to continue to write. Back 5 years ago during the pandemic, I self-published this book. It's 3 short stories called Gratitude, a trio of stories, and I want to expand on that. I never did market my book. It's on Lulu. It's free for anybody who wants it, but I didn't market it. And what I want to do now is move more in the area of marketing my own work, self-publishing, and also writing for small magazines, particularly literary, okay? Now, my last video was about In Command Magazine, a military history magazine, which was something I did not plan to write about because I'm anti-war, and it's kind of weird that I would write for a military history magazine, but I'm a history lover. So I was willing to compromise with that. And also the editor liked my proposal, my idea. And so he had me write. And I have another article coming out with in the magazine sometime in the future. I don't know when. It might be a year from now. Who knows? But writing is my thing. That's what I studied for my undergraduate years. I have a bachelor's in English education. And then my second degree, my master's, is in education. So I'm very passionate about both areas, and I feel like I have a lot to say in writing. I've lived a bit. I dreamed of being a writer for years when I was young, but when I was young I used to think about, what can I write about? I don't know what to write about. And I thought one time I wanted to be a romance novelist, I don't know, historical novelist, but now I want to write more about literary things and also social things, and some political things. And so this is really important to me. So I just don't have time for YouTube. When I came on YouTube, I did not come on YouTube to make it a job, okay? Because to really make your channel good, it's a matter of luck on here. And it's also, you have to make it into a job. And I am not a content creator. I am mainly an educator and a novice freelance writer and author. That's what I am. I'm not a content creator. To me, the written word is much more important for me than the spoken word. Okay, I'm not a great speaker, but I feel like I'm a pretty good writer, and I want to put my energies in that. You know, with being a person who has multiple interests, who's very curious. Okay, I was just talking to one of my students yesterday, and I was telling him that I'm still like a 5-year-old as far as curiosity. I didn't stop being curious. I'm still curious, and so for me, I'm willing to learn work with different things. At this point, right now, I'm studying Turkish and Spanish. I have another student, one of my students, I was inspired by her. She's in her 40s. She's a lawyer, and she is studying Spanish and English and trying to learn how to play chess. And she's a person who's into lifelong learning, just like me. So for me, it's really important about getting my written word out there. And I don't want to see the written word die, because when you have, I've been thinking about it and pondering this over the last few weeks, but I think that when television was invented and all of this, movies, that it was a way to get the masses away from reading, away from the written word. Okay, speaking is very important. Yes, it is, but you also need to have writing, because I feel like the creation of writing, where it was created in Mesopotamia and also in Egypt and Northeast Africa, it rounded out us being humans. The written word is very, very important, and we don't need to let it die. So in my own small way, I want to keep it going. Okay. I don't want to, I'm not into all this AI stuff. I don't care about it. I just feel like it's a vehicle to eventually dumb everybody down, because people have already been dumbed down. You can see the effects of it. My country, worldwide, people have been dumbed down. So we don't need anything extra to take us away from our essence as being human. So did I love my time on YouTube? Yes, I did. I didn't want to make my YouTube channel into something that was fake and where it was just so polished that it was fake. I wanted mine to be more natural. So I left in, all of my speaking mistakes and everything. I left them all in. I also, for a while was thinking about, I want to make a lot of little mini documentaries. I do have some on here on my channel, but that takes a lot of time. And like I say, if you're going to be a serious YouTuber, you need to make it basically into a job. And me, I don't have time to be a serious YouTuber. I just don't. And that's just not where my biggest passion lies. My biggest passion lies with writing and teaching. And I've come to realize, particularly, recently, I can't do it all. I'm not trying to do it all. What I need to do is, I feel like, and what everyone should do, is that if you have 2 or 3 things that you're good at, work with those. If you just have one thing you're good at, work with that. Okay. So me, I feel like where my biggest passion lies is with education and writing, and that's where I need to put it. I'm not a spring chicken, of course. I'm in my early 60s, and so it's like I need to start thinking about what I want to really put my biggest time on and what I feel is more useful. And if I look at, say, for example, if I look at what has happened with the journal that my article is in, when I compare YouTube, my YouTube numbers, the views, my channel has basically died. But if I look at, say, when I was writing on Medium, and Medium was a big vehicle to getting me to really put myself out there and try to get my work into publications once again. So I've had stuff, local newspaper, university newspaper when I was a student years ago. But to really get back in stride now, I looked at, people are, my Medium page grew far, far more quickly. I mean, it grew very quickly compared to YouTube. YouTube, I'm still stuck in the 400s. I was on Medium writing basically probably total less than a year, and I have 400 people that follow me. And so where am I doing better on places like Medium? Writing. I can see. And then, of course, as a teacher, I teach online. I teach adults mostly and some teenagers online. And if I look at my ratings as a teacher, we're rated. I have 99% approval rating as a teacher. One point this year I was at 100%, but I'm 99%. So I have to look at where I'm best at. And YouTube is not it. It's just not it. And it's not where I want to put my time. But YouTube, I feel like it was not a waste. 2 years that I basically was on here fairly regularly. But it is just not me. YouTube is not for me. YouTube is not for everybody. I follow a lot of great channels, people that do alternative news, cultural channels, travel channels. I follow people in Gaza that have their channels. I feel like they do a much better job than I do. And this is more, of course, for a lot of people in Gaza, they probably weren't planning on being content creators, but this was one way that maybe they can survive, make some money. But YouTube is not a necessity to me. I prefer more to be a watcher on YouTube than to be a content creator. I'm sort of like the student I was mentioning to me that I was just mentioning that is doing several things and into lifelong learning. She's a lawyer, and she was telling me, she said, on social media, I don't really participate. I have accounts, but I don't participate. I mostly just look at what other people are doing. And that's what I'm basically, just a spectator on YouTube. That's the way I want to put it. I've also cut back on my social media as well. I'm no longer on X, on Twitter. I closed TikTok. I was on TikTok. I had a Christian page, and I was talking about different things from Christianity and books. I did that very briefly, and now only social media I'm basically on now is Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I think that's it. That's pretty much it. But yeah, So the people that are YouTubers, I feel more power to you. Great if you're doing a great job. You're making an impact. There's a lot of garbage on YouTube, but there's also a lot of good stuff too. I follow a lot of the good stuff, but there is a lot of garbage on here. Okay, and people are complaining about what they call AI slop now. I follow a couple of AI channels that are historical. Okay, but all the other kind of stuff, not interested. Just not interested. If it's a very creative type, maybe something like that, where generating stuff, but I'm just not into that. That's just not my thing. But one thing I've noticed in the last couple of years on YouTube, I'm glad to see that there are more senior citizens on YouTube, people that are even older than I am on YouTube. And some of them, they have big subscribers, big following. And I think that's great, okay? And some of them, there have been YouTubers that are people that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, that are encouraging older people to get on YouTube. So if you're an older person, that's something you want to do, go ahead and do it. But for me, I have a lot of ideas in writing. Even with this book here, I plan to break it down. I have 3 long short stories. They should be broken down, I feel, into shorter books. And also I have one poetry book that I'm almost finished. It's about 40 pages of my poetry. It's my hope I have 3 poetry books I hope to put out, and I want to also market them, unlike I didn't market this book. I did this basically as an experiment to see, could I do it? Could I self-publish something? And I want to see, could I do it? It was like a personal challenge. So for me, a lot of things are personal challenges. It's not that I want to monetize something. It's a personal challenge. So yeah, but yeah, this is my last video, okay? And I just wanted to thank everybody that followed me, that's, that supported me. If you left comments, I didn't get many comments. My cousin that I shared, he has a smaller channel than me, but he gets more comments than I do because his is probably because it's a news channel. He's not a person that's super outgoing. He's friendly, but he's like me. I think he seems to be more introverted like me. But he as far as comment wise, he's doing great. Me, I never got a lot of comments. I don't know. Maybe people found me intimidating. I don't know. Sometimes people feel the sort of intellectual types that we're intimidating. But anyway, I have to end here. I have a student coming. But thank you all for supporting me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for everything. And I wish the best for you. And good luck for you in your future, okay? So take care. This is Teacher Sincere. Goodbye.